All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dion's Daily Dose. Today is Wednesday, July 8th. Thank you for joining me. For those of you watching live, thank you for being here. For those of you who are catching it a little later on, I forgive you. Now, so today we got an email about the plan for reopening schools. Now, this is important to me because I have children in the Michigan City area schools district, and it's going to it has some very real implications. I'll cover a little bit. There's a PDF that gives the basics. I'm not going to go through it all. It's all there. If you want to check it out, you can go to educatemc.net in order to see it. Jack, hey, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Here's the thing, right? I'm just going to break this down really quickly. So on the list, basically you have three options as a parent. You can send your child back to quote unquote regular school. You can do online school or you can do virtual school. The difference between the second two is kind of vague. It seems to be if you're doing it as a temporary thing, then it qualifies as one of them. If you're looking at making it a permanent thing, it qualifies as the other. I'm going to share with you from the site. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It is there again. Educatemc.net is where you'll find this. Let me show you though what I mean. So here's the full plan. Here's the 2-page summary right here. The full plan. Let's go for HTML and see if this works. I know that when I looked at it before, yeah, see, it comes out all weird. We're going to try a different one this time. Let's try EPUB, I guess. Let's see if that works. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not working. Let me show you just the 2-page summary real quick. So here's the options, right? 100% online, MCAS online or MC Virtual Academy, traditional school. So if, as a protocol, if they believe that untested students with symptoms, they will be excluded from school. They must be fever-free, without meds, and symptom-free for 10 days, or have 2 negative tests at least 24 hours apart before returning, et cetera, et cetera. Let's go, though, to what I'm talking about specifically. Doesn't look like, this isn't it. So basically, let's see if I can kind of summarize real quick for you. For those that are in advanced programs, like for example, my son is in the advanced college bound program. It doesn't look like anything other than traditional brick and mortar allows that. Need a pen? I got this green one. ROTC too. Yeah, ROTC and other additional programs seem to be excluded from everything except the traditional return to school course. Masks are required for bus, and quote, according to the documentation, any situation that is students are not able to maintain 6 feet of social distance. That can mean anything. They are, and look, just so everyone understands, I am not advocating for or against any of this. The school's in an impossible situation where they have to make some very hard choices. Trying to get to the actual info. Like I said, educatemc.net, but here is the actual link. mcas.k12.in.us/reopening. And this will actually take you to the part that I was on and will allow you to choose which one you want to download or look at. And then we'll move on. The schools, like I said, are facing a very hard decision in how they are going about reopening and what they're doing. They sent out a questionnaire to the parents. We answered it in the way that we could, the answers that we gave, and they're having to do what they have to do for it. My only real issue that I see in reading through this documentation is that ROTC and the advanced courses seem to be excluded from anything other than a traditional return to school. So if I decided, for example, that I'm not comfortable with my son returning to school yet, does he then lose his place in the advanced programs? Or more on that as I get in touch with school administrators and learn how that works. I'll fill you in. So let's talk about local issues, things that are important to you. You know, I've seen quite a few news stories lately where we have shootings here in Michigan City. As a matter of fact, I just saw another one that was sent to me. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can bring it up. It was just sent to me today. I think it got sent via text, and I can't bring that up. So let me find it. It happened down by Washington Park. And let's see here. Yeah, see, there's quite a few, unfortunately. May 25th, 5 days ago. Here, let me share this with you. This is just the Google stuff that I'm bringing up. 3 teens hospice is June 3rd, May 14th, April 6th, all regarding Michigan City. Look, this is horrific, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, why are we seeing so much of this in Michigan City? I'm looking for the one that was by Washington Park. Let's see if this is the one. This isn't it. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Finally found it. Let me share that with you. So, Michigan City police investigating murder near Washington Park. Police received a 911 call around 7:30 p.m. about shots fired in the 200 block of Lake Hills Road. This was Saturday evening. While police received a call about a vehicle that hit a building at East US 12 and Liberty Trail. When officers arrived to the crash, they found a vehicle with bullet holes on the driver's side and 22-year-old Antonio Jesus Rivera unresponsive behind the wheel. He was taken to the hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. Thoughts and prayers to his family. That's never, ever easy. Police said it appears to have been an isolated incident stemming from an altercation that started near Stop 2 at Washington Park, and police do have a person of interest in the case. So I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time on that. I'm just gonna say that we're seeing this more and more often, and it doesn't bode well. It does not bode well for Michigan City. It doesn't bode well for Northwest Indiana. There are plenty of things that we can talk about in relation to areas that we can improve our city. This is just one of them. We don't know any more information than what's been released so far. Apparently, it appears, there was an altercation. Somebody got angry. That's all we really know at this point. So let's talk about what I'm running on. I'm going to start focusing these videos on campaign issues and what my plans are, right? What am I going to do differently than all these other politicians before me? How am I different? Well, for one, I'm not a politician. Yes, I ran for something else. That was my first time. And one of the things that I've noticed in talking to people and politicians both is there's this massive disconnect in general between us, the regular people, and the people that are supposed to represent them. I'm not gonna pile on, but look at the Tucker Carlson interview with Senator Mike Braun. Uh, how horrible was that for Braun? That's just an example, and you know the three. So one of the things that I've been told over and over and over when it comes to running for office is you pick three things, right? Three things that you really want to focus on as far as your campaign goes, and make those your issues. You don't really want any more than three, four if you just can't possibly narrow it down. But three is the magic number. What are my three? Well, first of all, jobs, but not just jobs, careers, good careers for this area. We have trades, we have trade schools. There's still so much focus, and we have so many service based jobs in Michigan City, Northwest Indiana in general. We need more quality careers. We need manufacturing. We need a stable paying that provides, what's the term, a livable wage, right? And benefits. Many of these positions are part time. You can go work at McDonald's, Starbucks, something like that, and get paid barely above minimum wage, not qualify for benefits because you're only considered a part-time employee, even up to a certain amount of hours, right? Or you could become a painter, a tradesman, a carpenter, a welder, all of these things that my understanding is these trades need people, right? They need people. But the people that I talk to in the trades are telling a different story. Well, I shouldn't say that, not the people in the trades, but the people that are applying for. I haven't gotten called back. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we make it to where these people that can do the job get hired to do the job? And I'm going to tell you something. I was talking to someone, I'm not going to tell you who because it doesn't matter, but I was talking about the double track project, right? And they asked me, what's the feeling of the double track project around where you're at, right? And I said, mostly they hate it. Oh, they hate it. Yes, they hate it. Why? Because all of this money, this federal money, this state money, all of this money that's getting poured into this project is going to Illinois. It's going across the border into Illinois to hire the companies to do the actual job, to make the tracks, to do all that stuff. It's all the money's going to Illinois. It's not going here. And the response was, who would we get who could actually do the job here? And that's heartbreaking. A lot of the businesses that have started up here in Michigan City and have subsequently failed have done so because of management or personnel issues. And that's something that I would like to address. I want to bring quality jobs and protect the jobs that we have. Regardless of how you feel about Blue Chip Casino, it represents a massive amount of income for the city of Michigan City and the county of LaPorte in general, Northwest Indiana. in general. The current state representative voted against them on a recent bill, and it fostered additional competition right up the road from them. It allowed a Gary casino to become land-based. I'm going to be looking into that more, and we'll bring you more information about that as I learn more. But just like as often happens on these bills, the title of the bill is very misleading. The bill itself, I'll have to get the number, but it's allegedly about sports betting, right? Allowing sports betting at these casinos. So you're like, okay, yeah. And regardless of how you feel about it, it generates on income for the city. And the casino's been here. We're not getting rid of it. It is what it is. Let's also bear in mind that Blue Chip Casino represents, I believe, around 1,100 jobs for the area. It's one of the largest employers in Michigan City. So anything that's against Blue Chip, we really have to ask why, right? Well, this Gary casino was allowed to spend $25 million in order to become land-based. A fee, a fine, whatever. Yeah, just like NWIRDA, created by adding one sentence to the V. I'd love to know more about that later. We'll cover that. There are so many things going on in a political climate here, and things being created and divided and all of that. Yes, thank you, Jack. The Colts Stadium bill. It's really quite intriguing how some of the stuff gets made and how it comes about. There's so much to uncover, so much to dive into. So let's recap. I want to create quality jobs in Michigan City, Chesterton, Westville, Porter County, LaPorte County. I want to get us some good quality careers, right? Not just jobs. We have jobs. The unemployment rate is still appalling, and we need to address that. But just jobs, I don't think is enough. We need good quality jobs, good quality careers. So that's number one. Number two, I want to address addiction, right? Not just as it affects the individual, because and it goes to it isn't just opioids, it isn't just meth, heroin, stuff like that. The entire spectrum. It doesn't matter what the drug of choice is, it still has the same effect. The families that are destroyed because of these issues, they don't care whether it's this one or that one, or, the big one lately, fentanyl from China, right? These are all issues that affect our community. These are all issues that end up with increased incarceration rates. How can we address that? How can we tackle what the actual problem is and address it and see that progress is made? It isn't just about locking people up and throwing away the key. That's been the method for the United States for many, many years, and the so-called war on drugs. And look what it's led to. It's led to higher per capita incarceration than any other nation. It's led to families being destroyed. It's led to people who go to jail or prison. There are not enough programs to acclimate them and improve their lives and get them on track so that they can get out there and improve their lives when they get out. See what happened to my cup? It's very disheartening. Be careful with dishwashers in these cups. Anyway, the last thing I would say, but certainly not the least on the list, is our infrastructure. And I'm talking about more than just our roads and bridges, right? Talking about our fire protection. I'm talking about our police departments. I'm talking about our rural broadband internet. All of these things are needed, especially it ties in with what I said in the beginning with schools, right? Many of these schools are presenting virtual learning or online learning as almost a requirement if things reach a certain point. So if that's the case, right? If they start requiring kids to go, or let's say these people aren't comfortable with the rules and regulations enacted by the school, they're not comfortable with putting their children back into the school in a regular format. What about the ones who live outside the city limits? What about the ones who can't get Comcast or Frontier or CenturyLink or whoever the internet provider is for their area? What do they do? And that's a very complicated, very, very complicated subject that I will have to devote its own video to. But I will tell you that I believe strongly in the infrastructure in Northwest Indiana, but I believe there's a lot of room for improvement. We can make it better. Let's not rest on where we're at. And look, there are a ton of things that I would like to get done in the House. If you elect me, I will be your voice. What's important to you is important to me. But it's really critical for office that you run on things that you believe you can accomplish. I have talked before about healthcare and a registry for the abused. These are all things that I intend to accomplish. But I'm not going to put them as the primaries in my campaign because I've been informed that those are things that are going to require some work. They're going to be hard to do. And more importantly, the average person doesn't know what these things are. They don't understand the direct care provider system. They don't know what that most of us can be involved with it at a moment's notice. The majority of people don't understand it and don't really think about it. I will do a video introducing people to that and why it matters, because it is something that I plan on pursuing, but it will not be a listed top 3. That's what I have for you today. There's a lot coming up. I apologize for the sporadic videos recently. I'm trying to get everything lined up. I finally have access to certain things that I've been waiting on to get access to. So I'm going to start actively campaigning soon. I've got the campaign bank account set up today. So that's done. Still have to get a couple other things tied into it. Have my truck needs to get fixed. I've talked to a couple people about that. That is really, really annoying, but it's a personal matter, not a campaign related deal, but it's very infuriating. When everything's all done, I will bring you up to speed in a short video so that you can embrace and share my frustration. It's going to greatly depend on how it all plays out, right? But if one thing holds true, it's that misery loves company, right? So it's just one of those things. It's with today's computerized vehicles, right? Everything's computer. You can buy a handheld computer, right, made in like India for like $30, equivalent to today's top, Android and iPhone models. They're just, off-brand, but equivalent, $30 or so, right? Tops $100, you get a kick butt handheld computer, but yet a relay in a car is like $300. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. All this stuff is a ploy, and I could go on for hours, but I will not. Thank you very much for joining me. I plan on having a town hall very soon, once I get the rest of this stuff lined up, where you can talk to me about the issues that concern you in your neighborhood, the issues that are most important to you and to your family, and what we can do on a state level to fix those things. One of the things that I'd like to believe is, as a state representative, you represent your area to the rest of the state. You are the voice for the people. And you are also responsible for getting state and federal funds funneled, grants and things like that, funneled into your community. And that's one of the things that I very, very adamant about, and always strive to get this area what it needs. So thank you very much for coming out, and God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the USA.